What's up, guys? Just Doug here, back with another video on the DTF Motorsports YouTube channel. Today we are doing some not so diesel things. I gotta do a flex pipe on my wife's car, which I'm pretty bummed about because it's pretty new. Bought her a newer car thinking like, oh, this is gonna be great. Nice new car, fancy luxury car. Don't have to work on it. That didn't work. So yeah, today the exhaust, I was driving, like, this thing sounds like it's got an exhaust leak. So I jacked it up, looked underneath it, and yeah, the one flex pipe's cracked. So luckily, the local Ford dealership had one in stock, so I ran up there. I just threw the hoist up real quick for the sake of the video. And so I'm gonna go ahead and pull it in here and get that swapped out. Hoping it shouldn't be too bad of a job. It's we had a Ford Edge Sport before this, and the same thing happened. But on that car, like almost from the rear axle all the way to the engine was one piece. And that piece was like crazy expensive. But luckily this one is just like a little, I don't know, maybe 1.5 to 2 foot section that's replaceable. So not crazy expensive, but yeah, it's gonna be a good time. So let's go ahead and get the car pulled in here. Okay, so I get a lot of comments on my other videos. People really like when I include what tools are needed to do the job. So I usually shoot this at the end, but I try to put it in the front of the video. So this is a super simple one. You need a 15mm socket. You don't need an impact driver, but if you have one, great. If not, just you know, just a ratchet. And then I had a pry bar just to help take the stock pipe on, the stock pipe off, I should say. And then some sort of penetrant oil, Croil, or PB Blaster, or WD-40. Depending on where you live, you might not even need that. But we're up here in Michigan, the Rust Belt, so those bolts were actually really clean, but still just spraying them doesn't hurt anything. And I think it helped the pipe come off a little easier because I sprayed all around the seam of the pipe. So yeah, like I said, I just wanted to throw in a quick tool list. The only other thing you'll need is a jack. I used a hoist, but that was more just for the demonstration of the video. It took me longer to set my hoist up than to do the actual job. So I think you could definitely do it on a jack and lay it underneath the car. So yeah, we'll jump into it. All right, so we got the vehicle pulled in, lined up with the hoist. One thing to mention, if you have a Lincoln Aviator and you have the air suspension, don't forget to turn on the service air suspension mode in the settings. If you're doing it on a hoist at least, just because, I don't know if you'd ever heard anything, but if you have the hoist arms underneath it and the thing goes to air out, you could potentially like smash your rocker or something, smash the plastics up if you don't have it in the right spot or something yet. So I always just turn that on, and then when I'm done, just make sure to turn it back off. So, all right, guys, so I'm just gonna show you how to turn off your, or turn on air ride service setting. So you can go into your settings here, go to vehicle, and you scroll all the way down, right here. So it's air suspension service. You go ahead and turn that on, and then that'll stop the car from dropping down or really moving at all. It pretty much just holds it right where it's at. But like I said, when you're done with this, make sure you turn that back off. That way you get your nice comfy ride, and your easy entry and exit or whatever still works. So yep, and then like I said, when you're done, you just go through and do the same thing. So don't mind my wife's trashed Aviator. I usually keep this thing spotless, but it is literally, everything outside is covered in ice right now. We had a crazy ice storm last night and snowstorm before that. So yeah, everything's just a muddy mess right now. So probably wash after this actually. But I'm gonna get the arms lined up and jack this thing up, and I'll show you where we got a leak at. All right, so this is the section we're gonna be replacing. Like I said, luckily in this car, it's just a small section and it's clamped in instead of all being one huge piece. I got the part number here. Yep, there we go. So you can go ahead and pause the screen and get that written down. This is for the passenger side, so these are side specific. So if yours is the driver's side, this isn't the right number. But yeah, I'm really surprised hers cracked because I just had this car on the hoist not that long ago when I took it to get rust proofed, and her exhaust looks brand new. It literally looks just like this one, so I'm really surprised that cracked. But it's a common thing in the Ford SUVs. Those flex pipes, man, they just they take a beating on these Michigan roads. So yeah, I'll get the car jacked up and I'll show you underneath. All right, so we are under the car, and you can see this piece here is what we're going to be replacing. Yeah, so it's leaking right at this flex here. You can't see it, but on the top side right here, I could feel it. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to spray these clamps, spray the exhaust, let that soak for a little bit. And this exhaust is pretty hot because I did just drive this to go pick up that new part. So let that soak for a little bit, and then we'll get back at it. All right, guys, looking underneath the car, you can see right here where that flex piece is cracked. You see that crack all the way through there. It's actually gotten significantly worse. This gets bad quick. When I felt it earlier, there was just like a little crack right here, and then I drove from Roan back, maybe a 20-minute drive, and yeah, it cracked all the way down here. So once you start hearing them, they get loud pretty quick. So, but yeah, I sprayed these clamps, just kind of loosen up that one. And this one here, they're just 15 millimeters. So I'll go ahead and break those loose, and hopefully we can slide this pipe right out of here without having to undo the other side, but we'll see. Whoops, too far. I'm just gonna leave the nut threaded on here so I don't lose these. Break the front one loose. Same thing, just leave the nut on there so don't lose them. See if, all right, this one popped loose. I don't think this one did. Might have to get, oh, there it goes, okay. Let's see if we can wiggle this thing out of here. This front piece is starting to get out. All right, well, I think that's all the flex pipe is going to give us. There we go. Whew. A snake. Didn't pop off that one. All right, got it out. Hopefully I can get doing it without damaging it. All right, so looking at the new one, it's shaped a little different. I mean, they pulled this based off my VIN. They said this is the one I needed, so I'm thinking that this is probably just an update. Maybe there's a common issue for that one to crack because it's right at the curve. It's got a lot of pressure on that. So maybe this is supposed to help from that happening in the future. I don't know, but I'm gonna put this one up in there and make sure everything lines up good. Hopefully we can get this one in there. Yeah, I mean, it looks like everything should still work, so hopefully this is just an updated version. I guess we'll take the sticker off first. Yeah, so the good news with this new version, you can actually push this in a little farther. So I was able to push it in farther so I didn't have to compress this so much to get the front on. So now I should be able to slide this back out. If this can pull the hose forward. Oh yeah. Yeah, this version looks a lot better. Let's see. How far do I want this in? Snug the front up so it doesn't keep pulling out on me. All right, and there's I'll bring the camera in closer in a second, but there's like a little indentation on this tube. I'm assuming that that indicates where this needs to line up that flange, because that's where it feels right. So I'm gonna set it to that point, tighten this down, and I'll bring you guys in for a close-up of that real quick after I snug this up. All right, I'll grab you guys. All right, so it's pretty hard to see. Let me switch my view here. Camera won't focus that. Oh, you can kind of see it there. So you can kind of see there's like a ring all the way around it that's just like a little indent. So I'm assuming that needs to line up at the end of this flange. And that's where it feels right. Look underneath the car here, so that's where I'm gonna put it. Yeah, you can see this this new design. I think that's going to be better in the long run because this cracked. You know, the flex pipe was right here before and it cracked on this edge, and that's where it had the most tension from being stressed out. So makes sense to put it in the straight. I'm assuming that the same thing's probably gonna happen with this one, because you can kind of see how this one's crunched up here and it's stressed out here. So same thing's probably gonna happen over there, and I imagine the updated one, it's probably over here. This one isn't giving me an issue yet, so I'm gonna leave it alone. But yeah, that's pretty much how you do it. I'm gonna snug this up, and then we should be good to lower the car down and start it up, make sure we don't have any more leaks. All right, guys, so I did go through and I started it while the car's still up in the air. No leaks on that side. I do feel a tiny little one right right off the front of this one. I can barely feel it like right in this area. So I might try to loosen and retighten this clamp. I do have a feeling eventually I'm going to have to replace this side, like I said, just because I changed the design. So this one, when you start it, this one shakes a lot, that one doesn't now. So I do have a feeling that this one's going to end up breaking eventually. So this one will probably get done sooner than later. All right, guys, so the car's back on the ground. So now all we have to do is turn the service air ride off. That's why the car is sitting so tall. Looks like it's got a lift kit on right now. So I'll show you, jump in the car and show you guys how to shut that off real quick. And yeah, that should pretty much wrap this up. Like I said, this is a really easy thing to do. It's the same for the Explorer ST and the Interceptor version of the Explorer. So if any of you guys have that leaking sound from the exhaust underneath there, this is a really straightforward, easy thing to do by yourself. You don't need the hoist. I just did that for the sake of the video, so it's easier for you guys to see. But yeah, like I said, pretty straightforward, easy job. Just go pick up the part, 250 bucks. And it took me longer to set my hoist up than to swap out that pipe. So like I said, not worth paying a shop to do, because they'd probably charge you a minimum and it probably wouldn't be cheap. So yeah, I'll hop in the car and I'll show you how to shut that service mode off. All right, so we're in the car. Just gonna click onto accessory mode, and then we'll go into the vehicle settings and vehicle, and then you scroll all the way down and oh, not that far. Right here, air suspension service. Right now you can see it's on, so we're gonna go ahead and turn that off. And then we are all set to, that's all you gotta do. And this thing is ready to go on a ride now. All right, guys, so that wraps up that repair on the Lincoln Aviator. So now this $80,000 luxury SUV doesn't sound like a 1998 Chevy Cavalier. Yeah, it sounded so bad. I'm like, yeah, I can't let you drive around like that. I can't have this thing sound like a beater. So yeah, now I'm gonna probably give this thing a bath, take it for a ride first, and then bring it back here and give it a bath. But yeah, appreciate you guys tuning in, watching. Like I said, this is a super simple repair. This goes for the Explorer ST, the Lincoln Aviator, and the Police Interceptor version of the Explorer, if you happen to have one of those. So like I said, $250 part, and I don't know, maybe a half hour. Like I said, only need a couple tools, 15mm socket, and maybe a pry bar, and some maybe some like Croyle or PB Blaster if you got some rusty bolts or something. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. Appreciate it. If you got any questions, comments, just hit that comment section down below, drop a like, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for tuning in.